Hello internet friends, welcome back once again. Thank you all so much for joining me here today. You might be wondering where I've been, and you might be wondering what I'm doing here, and the answer to both those questions is that I have been moving. I moved into this place for the summer, just for 2 months, and it's been a bit of a process. I haven't been able to keep up with the videos like I've wanted to, but I'm going to try something a little bit different here and sort of fill you guys in and then have some gym footage. One of the things that happened is that the landlady at this house is a very wonderful lady, but she doesn't want me to have heavy weights in the garage, so I did keep all of the weightlifting equipment at the old house. I made a deal with the guys who were moving in there after me that they'd take good care of it and that I'd be able to come over and use it. So I still have a garage gym, but it's no longer in the home that I'm currently staying in. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a tour of this really nice house, the place that Chester and I have been living for the last couple weeks and finally getting settled into. So I'm going to turn the camera around. You guys won't have to look at me, but you'll get to kind of look around and see what's going on here. So first off, we have the Strength Crew shelves. These are just the merchandise from the Strength Crew company. Those are the Ben Rice shirts you guys see me wearing all the time. The Tusk tees that you see me wearing sometimes and you see me wearing now if you were to look at that intro. Got a little mailing scale right there, an extra TV, a bunch of mobility stuff. There's my piano, and we're gonna see, here's the kitchen kind of area, this living room kitchen hybrid. That's a picnic table, which is awesome, and I do a lot of work there. This is where the Supreme Overlord Cheddar, or Chester the biscuit, naps his days away on that little barbell blanket. Hey buddy. He does not care even a little bit. Oh, there you are. Hi, big guy. I have my movie shelf. These are completely outdated because now the internet is a thing. This was a gift that my girlfriend Jess painted for me for, I believe it was a birthday of mine, or it was Christmas. It was either Christmas or a birthday. She's too good to me, and I forget which occasions she spoils me. These are my Monster tabs. I'm addicted to Monster energy drinks, not to be a meme or anything, and not to be on team whatever color Monster, but I just enjoy those as a beverage. Laundry room, and actually through here, we'll see where, this is the same house that I trained last summer. So this is the garage, this was the garage gym, and the reason that the landlady asked not to have heavy weights on the floor is because there's some cracks, which I've never had a problem with outside of this particular house. This is the only place I've ever had any issues with floor damage from the weights, but I do respect your wishes, and that's why we're keeping it the other place. If anything, it encourages me to get out and move around and not just be in the house all the time. Here we have my little video system set up, basically the charging ports for my other GoPro. This one plugs in there too. The remote, which is how I film with both angles at the same time without someone to film for me. And yeah, so I'm gonna go on through. This is a closet. This is a room of someone who lives here during the normal parts of the year. Currently Chester and I live here by ourselves. So there's no other, if you can see me in this lighting, it's pretty poor. Right now it's just us. We don't have any roommates. The rooms are all, oh, this is the same light. The rooms are normally occupied when it's not the summertime, but we're kind of watching the place for them while they're gone. This is their little kind of upstairs community area. These chairs are super comfy, and Chester likes to get his naps on up here. They have some big TVs. I have this turned off right now, so it's really, really hot up here. Normally that keeps it bearable. It does get very hot up in this upstairs area. Chester's food spots. There's a bathroom over here. You don't need to see that. There are 2 rooms. Actually, I do want to show you something that Jesse's mom got me. That's my little toilet paper holder, man. And when he only has 1 roll on the side and his bar is unevenly loaded, you know it's time to make a toilet paper run. So, into the room that I'm currently staying in, Bambles. Closet with laundry, little makeshift nightstand, my bed, Chester's half of the bed, Chester's other bed. He basically owns this place, and I just kind of live here at the same time. Some shelf space, a fan that's turned off for the sound reasons, my computer / gaming setup. So there's my PlayStation 4. I play way too much Call of Duty Black Ops 3. If you guys are interested in adding me, my oh, that went away at the perfectly wrong time. Come on, friends. That was going to be super epic looking too, and it just ruined it in the shot. Whatever, I'm keeping it in. Not refilming this. Play a lot of Black Ops 3, and my PlayStation username is PL_Gandalf, because you guys know. Got my headset right there. I have my Xbox 360 down there. I hook up the computer to the TV to do a lot of computery type stuff. That's probably what I'll end up editing this video on once it's finished. This window opens up to a really beautiful view. And I'll show you briefly, but it does get super hot if I leave this open at all. You guys can kind of see it's just a really nice little quaint neighborhood. And yeah, it's a great setup. Not all this stuff is mine. The posters and such belong to the guy who lives here normally. I kind of got in at the last second. So even that dresser has all his clothes in it. These shelves are full of all his stuff. Everything on top of everything else is pretty much mine. And I'm sort of just living in this space for the 2 months until I find another place with Chester. So that's sort of an update, and we're going to jump into some gym footage here over the last couple of weeks, and you're going to see me struggle through a couple of challenges, but make it out feeling positive and just working through it. So thank you guys so much, and here comes the gym footage. Bye. Alright guys, so we are into the training footage here. I hope you didn't mind that little bit of vlogging. It's something that I'm not really used to, so forgive any cringy moments you may have seen. What you're going to be watching is kind of a little bit of mix of clips from the last 3 weeks or so. I guess the cliff notes of how these sessions have been going is that it's been pretty difficult. We jumped right back into the higher volume stuff, and the loading has been increasing every single week, and it has been very challenging. There were definitely a few different sessions where I wanted to quit midway through. It's really hot here right now in Ellensburg. It's the situations that I was putting myself in were not always the best in terms of when I was able to get started with my workouts. My recovery was being tested. My ability to maintain my technical proficiency and just get through the sessions was it took a lot of effort. It took a lot of mental fortitude and I guess acceptance that these are sessions that are going to be difficult. And I think that's something that's really important to recognize in your training, that it's not always supposed to feel good. And I've talked about this before. There are times when it is programmed in and the expectation is that you are going to struggle, because the only way to adapt, the only way to grow is to challenge yourself beyond your current limits. There's no reason for your body to adapt to a stimulus that it can handle easily with no issues. And so you're going to be seeing right here, these are supposed to be pause deadlifts. I was rushing the pauses because they were pretty rough. I think this was week 3 of the 4-week block, and I was supposed to work up to a top set at around an 8 RPE, and I was supposed to repeat that set 2 more times, and if I was to reach 9.5 RPE, I was supposed to drop the weight back down. And I get really kind of annoyed watching some of these videos because they look like they get tough, but in the moment and in those sets themselves, they feel so much worse than they even look. So just move forward watching this with the understanding that if something looks like it's a little bit difficult, I'm probably kind of dying a little bit inside, and you kind of have to give a part of yourself to this with that expectation that it's going to be more than you are comfortable with. It is not going to feel easy at all points. And if it does feel, if the training feels easy, if everything feels great, maybe you're not pushing it hard enough. Along the same line of logic, if you're always feeling beat up and there's never an upswing, if you never have a session where you actually feel good, that's not really sustainable either. There has to be a balance of the two. You have to be able to understand that there are the seasons that you're going through that are going to be more challenging, and then there are going to be seasons that you go through that are going to be more manageable. That's one of the important things about having someone who's objective to give you some feedback. It's very important not to surround yourself only with people that always agree with you. That's why I have Hanny and Eric as my coaches making the decisions for me, because I can't trust myself to always be objective, especially when you are tired. This is my friend Mike, or Mikhail, and he is going to be one of the guys moving into the place. So he's going to be one of the people who's watching this equipment for me. He was nice enough to come and join me for one of the sessions that I did, and it was way past the time he normally works out, so it was a different set of experiences for him to be training and having the session go past midnight. But really strong guy, and he's going to be getting even stronger. I think we're going to work together a little bit to see if we can't get even more out of his lifts. So yeah, I'm excited to see in the future what he's able to put up, because he's already got some pretty strong numbers, and I think that there's even more room to grow, which is something I see within my own lifting, and I see it in other people too. So never stop pursuing improvement, even if you already feel like you've gotten better, like you've gotten to a point where it'd be easy to just kind of let off and coast and relax. Because if you're the kind of person who really wants to continually strive for self-betterment, then you can be content with your progress, but you don't want to be complacent, because it tends to not be as fulfilling when you just sit at the same level and never strive to improve. Sometimes you may not be able to push past. Sometimes you may be stuck in a time where it's a little bit more difficult, and you have to address kind of what's holding you there, and that's when the questioning starts. But there's almost never going to be a time when there's not something in the journey that you could be improving upon and working through to become better in some way. This is probably the set that I would say was kind of the highlight of the last 3 weeks. This is 635 for a set of 4 on pause deads. I felt way better in this top set than I did in any of the 3 in the week prior to this. So that was kind of an exciting feeling, how adding 30 pounds to the bar just happened to be one of the sessions where I had a little bit better preparation, or my recovery was a little bit faster. There was something in the variables that allowed me to have a better time with that session, and always trying to find that again. But you're going to see later, again, in the same week, it takes a toll. Even having those good sessions, it gets more difficult. This session is probably my least favorite of all of the sessions that I do. Sets of 6 for me on squats are just so mentally taxing that I never feel great when I'm doing that many reps in any particular set of squatting. It's a challenge for me. It's the easiest it's the easiest lift for me to cut corners on, to cut my depth, to have fatigue breakdown, and to just say I want to quit because it's dangerous, air quotes on that one. But I think that it's important to have times in your training where you are embracing that there's some sucky stuff. I think this is actually, that was a video of my last set, so that's way tougher than it looked in the way it was feeling. And then on to the final deadlift session of this 4-week block. I'm not actually sure what the guys are going to be having me do. I'm about to receive my next little block of training from them, and Hanny assured me yesterday that the first 2 weeks of it are going to feel pretty miserable. So it's almost better to know that going in. I appreciate not having any surprises along those lines, because I think it's really important to I've been talking about the idea of kind of accepting that not every single week of training, not every single part of the pursuit is going to feel good, and there are going to be times when you are expected to struggle, and it's the intention of the plan and the process to struggle through something. I think it's also important to have those objective people to let you know that that is the intention, and it's not just you messing it up and your lack of effort in some other area is what's causing that. Sometimes you're just in a fatigue deficit. You are overwhelmed by the work that you're doing in a planned, objective manner, and it's something that you can use that to get better. The important thing to do is to focus in on what your driving force is. Find the things, keep your mind in this moment to execute the work that you're doing to the best of your ability, but allow yourself to be motivated by looking to the future and what your goals are that you want to achieve. Let those continue to inspire you forward when even in the moments that you are in currently, you may not feel particularly motivated. There were many sessions in this 4-week block that I was not motivated to go and do the work, but I do have that driving force of what we're working towards, and that is what we're trying to accomplish. So thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you like kind of the vlogging sort of idea in future potential, I guess, because that's something that I could probably do much more easily than constantly editing things. But yeah, just give me your feedback on that. Thank you all for being patient with me now that we're settled in. I'm going to cross my fingers and say that things should return to normal, but I've been saying that, and every time I do, life happens. So thank you all so much for the patience. I appreciate you all much more than you'll ever know, and I will talk to you very soon. Have a great day. Bye.